Welcome, everybody, to another episode of The Shoot. I am joined by the illustrious, the man of many faces, not one, not two, but three faces, the host of the Mid-Card Mess, and the newest member of the Sharpshooters Network, host every Wednesday, everything else, Jemal, and our resident veteran on this Veterans Day. Sir, thank you for your service, and how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic today. And yes, I acknowledge all of you. You acknowledged all of me. All three faces of me acknowledge me.
Well, I mean, if you're on some Roman Reigns bullcrap right now, does that make me solo? I think I could be solo in this situation. I like being solo. He doesn't say much, and he just goes in and he just enforces stuff.
Definitely, for sure. So if we would have to make the Sharpshooters the bloodline, then I think, the problem is, like, no, that would make me Roman. You could be solo. Freaking, Manny is obviously the wise man. Freaking Ross is the Usos, and then we're gonna make Marcus. Yes, we're making Marcus El Generico, Sami Zayn, the Usiest of Usis.
Do you realize? Do you realize? I have a feeling when this episode comes out, and if Marcus and Manny watches this, they're gonna have a very strong issue with the bloodline ranking because I think they all want to be the tribal chief in this situation. But
Well, I would technically give Manny the one upsmanship for the tribal chief, and then I'm technically the Usos because, like, I go out and I handle the business and I really, do what I gotta do.
technically, how you could do this in a way we can make Marcus and I the Usos since we are actually brothers. You could be
So then I'm
solo.
actually solo. And
You could be solo. Manny could technically be
he's
Roman.
either he's Roman or Paul. Like,
Actually, I think by default, let's just say Ross is taller than both of us, so he would be Roman. So like with his 6'7" stuff, and then Manny could be the Lord. Why? I mean, that could work out. In the comments, let us know. But we're not here to talk about. That's cast is subject to change. That was a failed show that happened on the network that we might should bring back. Who should be in the bloodline, which would be hilarious. We're here to celebrate Veterans Day and talk to our only veteran on our network, Jemal. And Jemal, just to start things off right away, what made you join the military?
uh, all right, so here it is. Like, nothing is taboo here. I'm just gonna give it to you straight because I am the sharpshooter with you guys. I'm gonna the straight shoot on the shoot. Um, Back in like 2008, 2009, I was living in Louisiana at the time, and my father had went to prison. So it was like the week of my high school graduation, um, and it forced me to go back to New York from Louisiana. And basically, living with my mom was a dub. Like, I couldn't do it. I went from living like a king, living like a man, doing my own shit, to at like 18, 19 years old at the time, coming back, and then she was trying to belittle everything that I have done. Not so much like belittle, but like, I was still a child in her eyes, as any child of any mom is gonna be. Just that's my baby, but like, I'm a man now, type shit. But just trying not to be a subject in the Bronx. Like, again, like, it was either three ways of getting out of there: become famous. Number,
And I'm assuming your bars ain't that great.
yeah, and my bars is decent. I'm not gonna say I'm the greatest rapper alive. I'm not gonna say that. You always put the work in. You got to put the work in. Even though I have bars more infinite than stars, the type of bars that make Willy Wonka go bonkers. Have you have a bad fur day like Conquer? I command and I conquer. But that's enough of that. Like,
That's
what I'm
enough of
saying.
that. And I'm assuming your jump shot wasn't as strong as you want it to be, because aren't these all the stereotypes of how you get out the Bronx? You either have a rap career, you have a
You
jump
know,
shot, or you a hustler. Are you a
you gotta learn
hustler?
how to throw that baseball. You gotta learn how to throw that football. And then it's not even about knowing how to, because I know how to do all of that. But to be the elite of the elite, that's time and dedication I did not have. Dedication maybe, but time, I had no fucking thing. What is time? Time is an illusion. And I'm gonna allude to that later on when we talk about my 8 years.
8 years in the military. That is a lot of time in there, and then we're gonna get to there. But you said something earlier. Most people would love the idea of relocating from Louisiana to New York. What did you miss the most about leaving Louisiana? Because I've only been to New Orleans once, and I went there for was it WrestleMania? Might have been. I'm not really sure what it was for, but it was for something. And I loved the food, but it seemed like it was a really, really slow lifestyle. New York is a lot faster. Do you like that slow lifestyle a lot more than that fast life in New York?
It grows on you. It was a culture shock to me because when I went down there, I went in '06, and basically it was the shortest summer vacation I've ever had. Finished school. I had a month. Hey, we're living down here now. Oh, we're cool. Hey, next week you start school. What? It's motherfucking August. What you mean school? So, but it's just basically, it was a culture shock for me being from New York all that time. Then spending that 3 years frame from '06 to '09, and it was very slow. You think that you're smarter than everybody, but then there's a lot of stuff that they can teach you. There's a lot of stuff that the country podunk people could teach you. So if you're a city boy or a city girl, take heed in what these people are telling you, because there's more important things out there than that city life, than that Metro card, than that than that rap career, than that.
So throughout your 8 years, I mean, I'm privy to this because you send me a lot of pictures, and I'm about to put some pictures out. I assume that you started off with the Marines. Of all the branches of military, why did the Marines call to you?
I'm gonna tell you what I tell everybody. They were open. They were open that day. Somebody was open that day.
Do you know? I've talked to a lot of people who've enlisted into the military, and I actually at one point was going to enlist into the military. I was going to go to the Navy. However, the recruiter, did not pay enough attention to me, so I felt slighted. And so, as you know, that we have petty running in our blood, I never went back there. But however, I've talked to a lot of people, and they said that yeah, I was going to join this branch of the military. However, the recruiter that I was supposed to meet wasn't there, but this recruiter was there, and so that's why I'm here. And I was like, man, it's crazy how things happen. Like, the story with the Marines, you guys are the first ones to come in, you get everything in order, and then the next branch that you joined, the Army, is the branch that stabilizes everything, like make sure everything stays in order. Of both branches, what branch did you like the most?
I would have to say that it's a 50-50, because like the Marine Corps is what made me like the hard. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm hard or nothing like that. I'm not rock hard Juice Robinson out here, but you know what I'm saying. It made me like more level with the world, with the way things that the world works. So by the time that I did reach the Army, I was having like everything that I learned from the Marine Corps helped me be a better soldier. They say that Marines and prior service, anything makes the best soldiers, and it does. So like people don't give the Army enough credit of how much background is in the Army. And technically, I was like with the Guard. So it's just like I did the 4 years with the Marine Corps and I did the 4 years with the Guard. So like the very unique thing about like the National Guard is that there's so much different backgrounds. And I'm not so much talking about like race or creed or anything like that. I'm more talking about like profession. Like we had cops, firefighters, artists, teachers, judges, like everybody come like a blend together, and to make something happen, like make a unit happen with all those different types of people, and making something be something, then that's a wonderful thing. It's
Okay.
very underrated.
Now, if everyone would look at the screen right now, you've shared some pictures with me about your military experience. I'm going to ignore that leopard print rug that your uniforms are laid out because you probably was a
You could
player
blame
player.
the expert for that one.
Yeah. So these three different uniforms, do they mean something different, or these are just your uniforms? Because I see the Army, I see a lighter colored Marines, and then I see the darker colored Marines. Like, are they symbolic to something like of your three different stints with the three different branches over the 8 years?
It's just the two different branches, but for the Marines one, like the dark camis in the back, that's your typical woodland camis, which we wear normally predominantly around wintertime, like the cold seasons, and we'll have that on until it starts getting hot, and then as you see going back down to the beige camis where you have to roll up the sleeves, have them sleeves looking tight, make your veins pop out like you freaking you know
Like you
you got Scott
yoked,
Steiner
like you
veins,
yoked.
you gotta it's so ridiculous now that I think about it. Like, why are we rolling our sleeves all the way to hell up?
Wow.
I feel like like the Steiner Bros and stuff.
Well,
But
back in the day, wasn't it used to hold the pack of cigarettes when they was smoking and stuff like that?
I mean, we have pockets for that,
Oh, that's
which
true. That's true.
are unauthorized to use. It makes
Let's
no
just be real.
sense.
It's just style, man. That's what it was. It was just style. That's what style and grace. I mean,
Uh,
what more can you say? Um,
because I'm styling on you. Like,
so we're going to the next picture. I believe it's a picture with you, your sister, and your mom. How old were you in this picture? Was this when you first enlisted, or are these in different periods?
nah, this was SOI, man. I was 19. No, I was no, yeah, I was 19. 19 years old. 19-year-old, three faces right there.
Mm.
Fresh out of boot camp, fresh out of SOI, looking clean, looking pristine. SOI is basically the school that teaches you your job, which my job was 0311 infantryman. So I learned how to shoot bad guys and kill people, and I graduated from that school.
With honors?
Not with honors. I would have had to have the flag and all that other stuff, and I was not jacking drilling. I
Okay.
hate drill.
Okay. Then we go to this picture. Is this still early on, or what did the four medals on your coat? Are those like accomplishments, or are they just part of the uniform?
So there are my individual accomplishments when it pertains to like medals. A lot of Marines do have some of these medals and stuff like that, like the GWAT. I can't really see this picture really clearly. I have to look at it like sometime. But there's the GWAT, there's the Afghanistan campaign, there is the anti-war and terrorism, and then I forgot what the fourth one was for me. Um, but basically it's saying that I'm a Marine that has served during wartime. The war that I did was Afghanistan, and the French little rope, the green rope over there, that's basically representing like my unit. They were in the Battle of Bella Wood way back in the Gap. So like that's very unique to my dress blue uniform over here. This was actually taken during my first wedding, and it's really one of the photos that I had um, when I was like, looking good, looking clean.
When you just had a lot of chapstick on to make sure your lips stay moist and all them Afghanistan hot nights and stuff like that right there. Like you got that little squint right there. Yeah, I'm your soldier. I'll take care of you.
See, like I had this on, but like people don't know though. Like you see how tight and crisp everything is.
Yeah.
That thing is choking the shit out of me. I'm trying to breathe. I'm fighting for my
Hey,
fucking
so
life.
as I tell people when we taking pictures and stuff like that, there's a price to pay to look good in the picture, and people don't understand all the pain and stuff that you go through when stuff is choking you. It's like all I need you to do is hold that expression for a couple of seconds, and then no one cares what you felt like at that moment. But anytime they look at that picture, they be like, "Man, you was sharp there," and you like, "But
Yo,
I was dying. I was dying in
I
this
was, I
situation."
was, I was dying. I can't see. I'm blind. I think my cover's crooked just a little bit. That's just something that I could look at just looking at this. This was when I was a booty boot.
Mm.
If I could change it again, then I just, look regular degular. But it's fine. This is a good picture. This picture was basically taken for my first wedding, for my first marriage and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a good picture. I kept it.
Yeah. Well, I'm concerned with pictures you didn't keep. Because are there pictures that you got rid of that you don't want to have anymore, but now you regret that they're gone?
Um, nah.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, so like in the military, it's a lot of sacrifice because you have time away from your family. Like when you're in Afghanistan, you don't get to see your family, your wife at that time, your children. But then you also get a new family. So we're gonna talk about your new family. That's your military brothers. And I don't know if you had any sisters. I didn't see any girls in this picture, so I'm not really sure if you had any females in your unit. But in this picture right here coming up. Looks like you're boxing, and looks like you got the crazy eyes, Jemal. And I'm concerned, did you win or did you lose? Because I know there's another picture that I didn't have, but yeah, what happened in this situation? Is this just how you guys killed time boxing on desert fields with barbed wire around? It's like the first cage fight.
So shout out to Tyler Watkins if he ever listens to this. Then it was a good fight. This was actually going to a draw. Really, like some people say that I landed more significant strikes. Other people would be like that. It was just like a stale. It was one of those like 5 rounds to 5 rounds, and nobody really kind of won or lost. But I landed some significant strikes. We was going like 60-50%. We wasn't going too hard, but basically this is the catalyst of when Marines talking shit goes wrong.
Oh yeah, well.
Like Watkins, he's like a bigger dude. He's like a machine gunner, so he carries machine guns all day, and those motherfuckers are heavy. And they got in the conversation of, yeah, man, I will beat the brakes off of this person. I got hands for days, this on the third, and I'm just minding my business out in my hooch, just writing in my book of flows, trying to write a letter to my dad, who recently had gotten out of jail at the time. I remember this day like it was yesterday, man. These motherfuckers was like, oh, could you beat his ass, and they came to, could you beat Barker's ass? And it was like, I will beat the brakes off of Barker. And I said some shit like, nigga, I'm from New York. I don't play that shit. I'll fuck all of y'all niggas up. And then they were like, oh, because I was a little reserved at the time. And they were like, oh, Barker talking shit. I was like, look, I'm not talking shit. I'm stating facts. I don't care if you fucking big like Watkins. I don't care if you big like Hawkins. I don't care if you big. I don't care if you fat. I'm fucking you guys up 8 ways to Sunday. So the fuck you talking about? They're like, I bet you won't put the gloves on and prove it. Mind you, I was not prepared. Look, I had my combat boots on. This nigga got sneakers. He's been in the gym already. Yeah. I just put my combat boots on, put these fucking stupid ass gloves on. I was like, all right, what's up? Run it. Like,
I'm about to go out of order because there's a picture that you sent that I've debated numerous times not to put it, but I'm going to show it anyway for the simple reason because the transition feels like this was you at this point right here. Like you was enjoying your watermelon, just chilling in your thing, and then someone came up to you was like, hey, motherfucker, I can beat your ass. And next thing you know, it ended up in this situation. And it's like, that's the narrative that I created in this. I mean, I can see why they chose you. I mean, like, everybody else looked like they was at the gym. Jemal, were you hitting the gym when you was overseas, man? What was going on? Or you just couldn't put the mask on?
I was at the gym. I was staying in shape. I was staying physically at my physical peak. Like in Afghanistan, I was probably the healthiest I've ever been, even with all like the deprivement of nutrients and everything like that. But at my physical peak, I was ready, man.
Right. But I mean, I was so ready. Even if you didn't win the fight, if it was to a draw, the fact is that you put your flag in the sand and said, you know what, you guys ain't gonna talk shit about me. So I'm assuming from that point on, you had more respect from your unit, right?
I learned that day that Boogie got the hands.
Okay.
They learned that day that Boogie got the hands, and I was like, all right, you good. We know that we could trust you. I'm like, you should have known that from the rip, but y'all some fucking foo shit. Well, take off the foo.
I mean, that's what it is. So we go down to this next picture right here, the grappling shot. I mean, a lot of things could be said in this situation, and you're already laughing. So what was going on here?
So this photo was just a photo for kicks. Like we thought it would be really funny. I'm gonna go down the line from the people that is there. Up at the top, you got Doc Fogel. I'm just gonna say their last name so that way I don't expose their real names and stuff like that. But you got Doc Fogel in the back. He was our corpsman. You got Lance Corporal McGibbon at the time. Then you got me, Lance Corporal Barker at the time. You got Lance Corporal Mitch, Lance Corporal French, Lance Corporal Williams, and Lance Corporal Simmons at the end, dying.
Yeah. Because a lot of pictures you sent me, it seems like you guys did a lot of grappling and a lot of wrestling. Was that related to like wrestling, or was this just how you guys kill time?
So we were actually killing time here because we were training to get our McMap belts. McMap is the military version of like, how to fight, like how to fight 101. They were trying to get us our like black belts out in country and stuff like that. So this is in Afghanistan. We are, taking some time off from that like a grueling session that we had, and we were just poking fun at each other. We thought it would be a good photo, and it was. So
All right. Now, so since we have to talk about the infamous racially profiling picture right here, my man, big lip man eating watermelon inside of a tent. What the hell was going on in this picture, Jamal?
So this watermelon, this wonderful watermelon, this cold watermelon
they had it
was
in the fridge?
Man, there was no fridge. This was grown.
Oh.
Okay. This was given to me exclusively from one of my sergeants because of the fact that I have black skin. All right. All the niggas got these watermelons. No funny shit.
I was afraid of that. And of course, my question after this is going to go there. So this is a racially profiled thing, but a boy from New York / Louisiana ain't going to pass up no watermelon no matter what the people going to say.
Look, bro, it's like 120 degrees outside. And when your sergeant comes, because like, we had a black sergeant, his name was Sergeant Morrell. And basically he got these bunch of watermelons and he gave it to all the black kids in our area. And he was just like, don't give this shit to none of them white folks because this shit is cold as fuck and it's delicious. Don't give it to no white folks. And we're like, okay.
I mean, I look at it this way. I'd rather eat the watermelon than that ration pack that's behind you right there. Do you remember what that ration pack was?
That was Southwest with black beans, the MRE, baby. Yep.
So of all your rations, what was your favorite one? Like, you know what? I look forward to this pack right here. I know it's not many of them, but it had to be something that...
There was this chicken pesto that I really liked, but Southwest with black beans, as long as you heat it up, that goes good and well. Nobody wanted the veggie omelets. Fuck all that. That's nasty ass shit. Then they had this. Exactly, pretty much. Then they had this thing that would be what the McRib would be. It's like the equivalent of the McRib. That's pretty good if you heat it up. You had to get like two different ones. You had to get two different MREs to make like this one big one. So they had one that was meatball marinara sauce. It was just meatballs with the marinara sauce. And then they had spaghetti with meat sauce, which was just spaghetti with meat sauce. So you add them together and then you have spaghetti and meatballs.
And no one decided to write a letter to people, hey, can we just put these two together?
Can we just put these two together?
Like, why I got to do all this extra work?
Is the problem.
So this is your unit picture. I'm looking at this, and I'm going to ask about the flag. But the question I want to ask, in a lot of the pictures, it did seem like there were not many minorities in your unit. How did it feel to be one of the few people of color in the military? Was it a lot of battles to go into it, trying to prove yourself? Or then after a while, like once you guys went on your duty or you went to your Afghanistan, it's like we didn't see color anymore. We were just one brotherhood, protecting each other's back.
So oddly enough, like this is just a portion of my platoon at this time. 3, the Cowboy Squad, baby. I remember them all, baby.
Yeehaw, maybe I don't know.
Nah, they called us Cowboy Squad because we did what the fuck we wanted to do. As you see, we have no fucks given. We're just there, and we kick ass. We take names, and we do what we got to do. And this is 3rd platoon, 3rd squad. I'm gonna go down the line again by the ranking at that time. standing next to me from your left is Corporal Buchanan, one of the greatest leaders that I had in the military at all. He taught me a lot, like, personally, professionally, and all that good stuff. Right next to me would be Harvey, Lance Corporal Harvey. There's Lance Corporal McGibbon, who again was in that other photo that was, getting choked out. Then you have Lance Corporal Simmons. Then you have Lance Corporal Haley. He taught me a lot, and he's actually a very good used car salesman now. Not a used car salesman, like a car salesman. So that's pretty dope. Then you got Lance Corporal Williams, who, like, Matt Brolick and stuff like that. Then you have the other Simmons. You have Lance Corporal Simmons on the end, and then there's Lance Corporal French at the time.
French with the gangster lean knee right there, right, with the gun. That's
he's from Boston.
That's the lean I would have in that situation. Even me or the guy with the cigarette. I don't smoke, but you want to look badass in the picture. And I see you trying to flex on him, trying to get something, but
I had just gotten off a post. As you can see, I have all my shit on, and I just got off a post, and I was tired of like, Boogie, let's take a photo. I'm just like, okay. So that's why I have my glasses on, because I'm tired.
Did you guys all sign the flag or something like? Because I noticed that there's like a lot of words in there and things like that, and like was this like towards the end of you guys' tour, or was this just a random photo op?
For me, I think it was just a random photo op, but I think it was leaning a little bit towards the end of our first deployment. So yeah, man, this was like we all written our names on it. I don't know who has the flag. I don't know who has that exact flag. Somebody got that motherfucker. I don't got it. Somebody does.
Do you guys still stay in contact with each other, like in messages or something like that?
So I'm friends with damn near everybody here on Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. Like I said, French is out in Ukraine doing the damn thing. So, he's out there hooking and jiving with the enemy still. Corporal Buchanan, his wonderful family, like, he's born again Christian and he's doing what he's doing. Harvey, I guess, is just doing Harvey things. Williams just recently got married. I haven't spoken to the Simmons on the end or the Simmons in the middle at all recently.
Okay.
I spoke to McGibbon recently. He's trying to get me a job opportunity out in like Tennessee, trying to see if I would come out there and, do some work. And then anytime that I'm feeling down, Haley will reach out to me. So
oh man, that's good, because it's always to have, because you guys have stories that only you guys could probably share with each other, and it's that moments when you're probably not feeling your best. It's nice to reach out to your military family. Also, I'm going out of order because I can't. Man, this don't seem like a very comfortable spot to be in. Them cots don't look comfortable. It's just like y'all close to each other. In this picture, it's not off. You can see a picture. I just smell balls, sweat, and misery. That's what I see in this picture. And ass. like that one picture where it says like serious ass right there. That's what I think. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. You smelling feet, you smelling ass, you smelling fucking people's bad pre-workout. You fucking like, nah, man. Like, it's just, and then not to mention all those mosquitoes. If you could see Lance Corporal Taylor that's in the middle over there, he's hunting for flies. He's literally like, and he's not giving a shit. Like, you see fucking Mitch is sleeping over here. If a fly falls on Mitch, he's slapping that fly, and then Mitch is gonna wake up like, what the fuck? He's like, look, I'm slapping the flies. Fuck out of here. I'm actually setting up a fly trap. That's what, like, you see, like, in the middle over there.
Yeah, I was like, are you closing the window, or I was like, what are you doing?
Some fucking fly traps, because the motherfuckers was on me. Get away from me. I'm trying to sleep.
But the worst part about it, I also see like all your cots are stationed on sand. So like if the wind picks up, you guys is it like a sand tornado in there? And this is where you normally slept at, right? Throughout the entire process?
Yep, this is basically our little hooch. We normally don't have hooches like this. Sometimes we're sleeping underneath the stars, and then we have the little ISO mat, and then having our blankets and sleeping system and stuff like that. But this was basically like a godsend a little bit, because like we have some type of roof over our head.
Okay.
Anytime that you get a roof over your head, you'd be grateful.
Okay.
So
Okay. So this one, you can't have military without guns, and you are the sharpshooters. What was your favorite gun?
my favorite gun is actually not the one that I'm holding, but the one my buddy McGraw is holding, the M249 saw. That motherfucker. Ooh,
That
ooh.
I mean, they look heavy.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Absolutely, especially with me holding the 203 round over here. This is actually me in SOI, not boot camp, but SOI. Like learning how to shoot bad guys and kill people. This was this photo.
So did you make it very far up? Like, because I know you say you were the true sharpshooter. Like, was your accuracy and stuff like top of your class, or were you middle of the road?
Middle of the road.
Okay.
Like these country boys know how to fucking shoot.
Well, some of them
You know
been
what I'm
shooting
saying?
their guns for their entire life.
The
I
whole,
mean, I'm a
the
city
whole life.
boy. I don't think I've ever held a gun. I might have, but I'm not sure. Who knows?
I mean, I've held guns before. My dad is a gun aficionado. It's like a kid in a candy store if he goes to a gun shop. But me actually learning and taking the time to shoot, then it was just like middle of the road type stuff. So you have your marksmen, you have your sharpshooters, and you have experts. I was a pizza box, so fucking marksman. So I know
Okay.
how to shoot guns. I know how to shoot them.
Do you go shoot guns still, or like to kill time, or just like that's
I
behind you?
I'm trying to go to the range. I'm trying to go to the range just to make sure that I haven't lost it. So, you know,
All right. So, like I said, you had your brotherhood, you had your family while you were overseas in Afghanistan, but of course, that's that family. But you also had your other family because I think you mentioned how you were married and you had your two kids. How was it dealing with missing your kids and your family being overseas? Like, is that what kept you motivated to keep going to finish that tour and provide?
so both of my excursions to Afghanistan, we'll call it excursions to
Excursions, let's call them
Afghanistan.
excursions. Like, or how I talk, your bids. You did a bid in Afghanistan. You did some time. That's what it was. Nothing more, nothing less. What happened over some stuff happened and we did some things,
So, both my time in Afghanistan, both the times that I was in Afghanistan, the first wife actually left me while I was in Afghanistan the first time, and the gravy train had to stop from there because it's like I'm risking my life out here, and then you're out here doing nefarious things with nefarious people. So
Out there
can't
gallivanting in the streets, man. I understand.
can't do that. No, absolutely not. So my son was actually born right as I was getting out of the Marine Corps and then transitioning into the National Guard. So you can see me in the Marine olive drab over here with my son as he was a little baby. Then he grew up, had a little hair.
Hmm.
Man, the big as hell now, man. I miss him so much.
Was divorce hard to go through while you were in the military? Like, did it make a lot of the I guess the pressures and things worse going through that issue?
It amplified it a tad. Like you're already trying to worry about what you're doing here. Like whenever you go, you try to make sure that you're worried about the job, not so much of like your family. But at the end of the day, like your family is the catalyst of why you're pushing through when things get hard, when things go through. You're just like, I'm going through this hard time so that way they don't have to go through such hard times. Because I think of every time I was ever in the field, and there's gonna be always people bitching and complaining. Oh, we got to sleep outside. Oh, it's fucking raining. Oh, we don't have no food. Oh, this and the third. And then it's just basically, hey, they're preparing us for if we have to go to these places where people are living like this every single day. We take advantage. We take for granted, like clean water, fucking electricity, a solid roof over your head. Like, it might be a fucking hole in the wall for 3,000 a month, but it's still a hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? The
Okay.
mud ain't the mud.
And I'm
When you think about it, the mud is really not as muddy as it sounds
and I mean
when it
like
comes
and
to
you're
countries.
dealing with all your things that you're dealing with at home, life and all that good stuff. And then you're in a foreign country. I mean, that has to be a lot of pressure. I mean, you're learning different people's cultures. A good majority of those people don't want you there. I mean, this one picture right here, it's a very interesting picture because it seems like it's a jovial picture where the kid is flicking you guys off, and it's like, but he has a smile on his face, and I hear that it's a balance that is very hard at that point because that kid can come over there and he can be happy and jovial, but then at the same time, he could also be somebody there trying to kill you. So it's like, was it hard to maintain your humanity when you're over there on your mission dealing with the foreigners?
Yeah, you know how many times I got called Jigaboo Marine?
I'm pretty sure a lot, man. I'm pretty sure a lot.
Jigaboo Marine. Oh man. You know, we understand that they're in the situation too. We try to. It starts with the kids. Everything starts with the kids. Like, you know, think of the worst person in the world. There was that child that, because of circumstance, because of situations, turned into that asshole that motherfucker became. And the same goes for people who aren't assholes and who aren't, like, you know, who are role model and stuff like that. They were once children too, and it took whatever nurturing, whatever um, you know, being a parent that it took to make them into that person. So they're in a predicament too. Is just trying to be human first before you're a Marine, before you're a soldier and stuff like that. Try to be human first. Be human first.
So do you think like your interactions with these different cultures when it came back to dealing with your own kids and the advice that you gave them as they are growing up, do you think that helped with you trying to figure out how to guide them and let them know like, hey, you need to be open and experience new things and not be as a, you know, single sided or such a myopic view. Like, be open to everything because everything can be interpreted into different ways, and try to see other people's perspectives.
Yeah, like, you know, again, it goes back to, like I was saying, like upbringing and stuff. When I was growing up in the Bronx, you know, me being Black, Puerto Rican, Dominican, I was made fun of all the time. I was, you know, a black kid that wasn't really too black because, like, you know, I have like the little light skin,
Mm-hmm.
but I was also not Latino enough because I didn't really speak Spanish like that. And it's just like, you know, you're not black enough for the blacks. You're not Latino enough for the Latinos. The white kids look at you like you're black. So it's just like, it got to a point where it's just like, you know what? I'm me. I'm not black. I'm not Puerto Rican. I'm me. I'm me first. And if you don't like it, then, you know, go fuck yourself type shit,
No, it's
you
like
know?
that. It's like that one Miguel song where he's like, "I'm too black for the Mexicans and too white for," and I'm like, you know, it's hard, especially when you're biracial. Biracial might be one of the more difficult because you're dealing with your identity. And although people say you're biracial, unfortunately, you're always going to be black. It's like the first thing that you're going to be. Because I mean, that's why I called you a person of color because I was like, damn, Jamal, I don't know what the hell you really are. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you're black, but I know you're not all the way black. And I think that New York, like that mix that you are, isn't that more of a common mix over there compared to here? It's just like we're black and white, black and Hispanic. That's what we have over here on the West Coast, the best coast.
Yeah. So I'm really like Dominican by proxy because my mom is also half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. So it's just like I would claim more Puerto Rican than Dominican, but I still acknowledge the Dominican heritage there too. But you can never ignore the fact that I'm fucking black. I'm a carbon copy of my father. Like, that man black. He
Mm-hmm.
might be the whitest black man that I
Wait,
know.
he high yellow like yourself
Yeah.
in Louisiana?
Nah, he's with me. He lived with me. I live
Or
with him here.
but in Louisiana, he was a player back in Louisiana, huh? Just going around doing what he needed to do.
Nah, he's a New York dude through and through. NYPD for like 20 years and stuff like that.
Oh, all
Did some
right.
time in the Louisiana cop system and stuff like that. That's what screwed him over. Why he went to jail. So,
So I
you know,
mean,
he was
you.
about to take Big Bubba's spot, and then Big Bubba was like, "No, I've been working here for 15 years. I'm trying." No, that's what happened.
I'm not gonna let no jigaboo soldier take my spot. I mean, I
You
had to bring that
know,
up. So you being, you know, black, Puerto Rican, Dominican. You have all this stuff, and you being in New York. And yes, I'm derailing everybody. I couldn't help it. So, who has the best food, man? Because you got all the taste buds inside of you. What is your favorite ethnic food?
My favorite ethnic food. It's tough, man. You know, them Chinese food be
Wait, no. Okay, not the Chinese. I'm just talking about from what your blend is of from black
my
food.
lineage of food. My
Yes, yes,
lineage.
yes.
When it comes to mashed potatoes, black people are unmatched. When it comes to rice and beans, obviously, you know, my Latino is not matched. It's different strokes for different folks. I unfortunately am a eater, and I eat everything.
Okay.
I don't care. I'll try anything once except dick. I will not try dick.
So spotted
No,
dick is not on your list to eat.
no.
I don't, I don't think spotted dick is actually dick, but you know. But what about the balls, Jemal? Will you eat? No, you know what? We're not going to go down this rat hole. I'm going to stay focused. So I have one last picture, and then we're going to have another conversation. But I have one last picture, and this is the first picture that I've ever saw Jemal when I joined the mid-card mess, and he had this posted. And finally, after all this time, all these years, I'm about to get the answer to this question that I always wondered. Jemal, what didn't they pay you for? And did you ever get your payment?
I did not get my payment. I'm still waiting for my payment from the Marine Corps for that. I went to Yuma. I went to Yuma to go train the next batch of Marines that was going to country. Like, you know, they're about to deploy and stuff like that. This was like, I want to say 3 weeks before I'm about to get out.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just like, yo, where's my fucking money?
Yeah. I mean, I get it because you know you did all that work, and then like at the same time, they know you about to get out, so you knew some tomfoolery was about to take place on this nonsense. So I understand the frustration.
I already knew, but you know, the training that I gave those Marines, I'm glad that I got to impart that on them because you know, even the Marines that I've trained on a regular basis, you know, all of them are like higher rank now, like higher than this rank right here of Lance Corporal. They're sergeants, staff sergeants, people in important positions and stuff like that. And then if anything that I've shown them or haven't shown them caused them to, oh, I want to do it the way that Barker did it, or I don't want to do it the way that Barker did it, and it made them better, then it's successful. That's what you take from that.
So
and then they're training the next generation and the next generation and so on and so forth.
So at the conclusion of your 8-year career with the military, what was your final rank?
I ended up being E4. E4 in the Marine Corps is a corporal. E4 in the Army is a specialist. So I was trying to pick up sergeant, and they just was like not reciprocating with me everything that needed to get done. I did everything I had to do on my end, and they just wasn't, you know, trying to push it forward. I was in that happy medium in the Army where it's like, you know, I'm not a sergeant, but I could still order this guy around. So I had like a mindset, a leadership mindset, but I have the rank of the regular degular. So it's like, you're either going to make me a regular degular or you're going to make me someone in charge. Well, which one do you want to do? You can't have both.
Okay.
You can't have both.
So one benefits of being in the military is that you get to travel and you see the world. What places did you get to visit?
Afghanistan, Romania, Germany, Georgia. There was instances in Norway, Korea, Africa, Djibouti. Fuck, man, there's so many places that we went. And I didn't do the Black Sea rotation. That's why I got out the Marine Corps too. I didn't get to do the Black Sea rotation. Like to go to Japan, I wanted to go. Okay. Nope.
Okay.
Australia, that would have been nice. And New Zealand.
And I have to ask this question: throughout all your tour, you were married the whole time in the military, huh?
No, no.
Oh,
I got married after the first deployment. Then, like, it was about like a whole year and some change that I was just out there.
okay. Without exposing yourself, I just need to know: were you able to use your black U.S. soldier powers out in them foreign countries where I hear the stories of that? Like some of the women are in quite high demand of seeing what American black men are really about. But that smile on your face tells me it might have been some adventures.
No, unfortunately, I had a job that didn't allow that
Oh,
kind of activity. I was out there doing a job, jobbing for America.
so in other words, you didn't get all the perks that the other people have. Man, I'm sorry because I've heard stories about that. I was like, wow, that's something else. Like it's just be out
I
there.
was jobbing. I was jobbing for America,
So
doing the job.
you were Barry Horowitz, just patting yourself on the back, just like damn. So if we have any young people that are watching this interview and they're thinking about, you know what, maybe I want to go the military route. What are three things that actually, let me start. What are three things that they should worry about going into the military first before we get to the positive?
So, three things to worry about. Number one, do you really want to do this? Because they got your ass for whatever that contract says that they got your ass for, whether it's a 6-year contract, a 5-year contract, a 4-year contract, a 3-year contract, which I think is the lowest contract that you could have. They have your ass. The government owns your ass. You are property of the United States government. That's what's going down. So, do you really want to do it? Then the next thing I would say is study for that ASVAB test so you can get a high score so you could choose your job.
Fuck
The
that
higher the
test.
score,
That test is
yeah,
culturally biased, man. Culturally biased. That's why. That's
yo,
why the fuck they
the
didn't want me,
higher your
man.
score,
Shit, I'm
the
still
higher
pissed
your
about
score,
that.
the higher your score, you could tell them, I want this job, as opposed to them telling you, this is what you can do.
I didn't want to be on a stupid ass boat anyway. Anyway, I'm not bitter at all. Not bitter at all.
Don't just You would have been in the fucking submarine, man. You would have been down in the ocean.
I would have to learn how to. Oh man,
Stuck for weeks.
you know what? After you give your points, what's the third one? I'll tell you my experience of why I was going to the Navy and what I thought about it. It was so stupid.
And then you have to seriously ask yourself, are you prepared to make certain sacrifices? And when I say sacrifices, I mean like, you're not going to be able to fucking, eventually you will, but that initial push to get in, you're not going to be able to play your fucking Xbox on fucking Modern Warfare 2 or whatever the fuck. You're not going to go out there fucking sliding in everything that walks. You're not going to be able to hang out with your friends. You're not going to be able to, like, are you prepared to make that sacrifice?
So, in other words, to protect the citizen's freedom, you have to give up your freedom to be a citizen in so many different ways. So now
Yeah.
that was the things that you should look out for. What about the things that are positive? Like three positive things about being in the military.
Um, Definitely a building block of dealing with people, especially in the work world, because you are unfortunately going to work with a lot of assholes. It helps you better dealing with assholes. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've had some asshole managers, but I've just cut them off before they even get started. I'm like, look, you're either going to do it this way or this way. If you do it this way, this is what I'm going to do. If you do it this way, this is what I'm going to do. So either way, you're making the destiny for me working here. So, I'll have no problem telling any boss that. Don't care. It could be Vince McMahon himself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Vince, we going to do it this way or we going to do it this way? Well, you're fired. Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Boom, boom, boom. I have other places I could be.
Exactly. I'm not going to sacrifice who I am to try to fit into your little narrative box. I get that. All right. Number two, what else did you?
I think number two would be like the respect that it garnishes, or the lack thereof, whatever. Not some people are gonna respect you like above reproach. Other people, depending on what you did, are gonna be like, you didn't do any fucking thing.
Yeah.
So you know.
And yeah, and this is a person that still sat at their couch all the summer long while you spent 8 years of your life, fighting the war, and they ain't do nothing. And they gonna try to diminish what you did. Like, I can't stand people like that. And last but not least,
Um, it's more of like a internal thing. Like, you did something in your life. Like, nobody could tell you didn't do anything.
okay,
Like, I know that not even the entire 8, but just that first 4 years, I know that I left a mark or I made a difference somewhere in someone's life or multiple people's life at that aspect. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a question in my mind. Like, if I was to go away today, nobody could tell me or nobody could tell my family that I wasn't anything.
okay.
Like, I did something, you know?
Did you find the adjustment from military life to civilian life hard?
It was very difficult. I do suffer from PTSD, that stigma. Yeah, I do suffer from that. Nightmares every night. Can't fucking go to sleep. That's why I work at night. So I could be, if I gotta be up, might as well be paid. Let's be paid. I'm hurting. I'm about to be 32 this year, and I feel like I'm fucking 58. With like, you know what I'm saying? My back, my knees. And the crazy thing is, I still, like, I'm not active. I still skate. I still go play basketball here and there. But after everything, I come home and I'm just like, why does my ankles hurt? Why does my legs hurt? Everything hurts.
It's called getting old, and I hate to let you know, Jamal. Like, you're only 32, man. That's only 30 is the first thing. When you hit 35, other stuff is gonna start breaking, and then when you hit 40, man, all bets is off, man. You just don't know. You're gonna be like Mick Foley, like, shit. Why did I do this to myself?
But see, the military exponentially grows that within. I was feeling like I was 30 and motherfucking 23. And I was like, what is happening to me? God damn.
So when you were doing your 8 years, were you able to keep up with professional wrestling? I mean, did you ever attend a tribute to the Troop show? I mean,
no, that was a Army exclusive thing. And by the time that I was in the Army, they was already doing stuff in country and stuff like that. So I was home soiled the whole time I was in the Army. So, or the National Guard rather.
Oh, well.
Yeah, man. Like, I tried my best. I didn't really think about it because I was thinking about other things. I'm not saying that it wasn't important to me. I remember watching CM Punk and Undertaker for like 5 minutes at WrestleMania 29 and in the chow hall, like eating food. I'm like, oh shit, wrestling is on. Yeah. It's still going on. I don't know this is like the rise of the Shield. I missed all of that shit.
Damn. Damn.
All of that. Like, I was like, who the hell is Ryback and why is he facing Mark Henry? Like, what's going on here?
So when you got out the military, did you go back and look at old stuff, or did you just start like saying that, you know what, I'm going to just start fresh right here? Or were you always because let me just point out, you are a connoisseur of professional wrestling. You watch so much wrestling. It's almost insane how much wrestling, even from the low names to the big names to the we don't even know names. I don't know how you do it. Like, is it just something that you love? Like, did you ever want to be a wrestler?
I did. And then I realized I was in the military and I was just like, nah, I'm not trying to be my back bump. Nope, I'm not taking no bumps. But then I thought about what would be the next best thing, which is be an announcer. Like, be a Vic Joseph or be a fucking Patrick, whatever his name is on Raw.
Man, F that dude. F that dude. I don't like that dude at all. I mean,
my initial push of wanting to do it is hearing Michael Cole say all this incorrect information. I'm just like, I can do a better job. Yeah. And it's like, well, why not? Let me fucking do that. Which is a catalyst of, me wanting to make the Mid-Card Mess podcast. And I have to thank Maurice and all the other admins there to allow me to use the banner of the Mid-Card Mess. I could have made some other shit up, but the Mid-Card Mess is a family, as you know. And, for allowing you guys to add me to this already established thing with the Sharpshooters. So, like, I rep it
is a very loose term, but okay.
Yeah. I rep everything as hard as I can. If I'm a part of it, then I rep it hard. I share everything. I do what I have to do for us to succeed, so that way I can get to that next level of journalistic status
Yeah.
of becoming. You know,
I mean,
that's why I go to the shows. That's why I go to the show. I have friends that are wrestlers, like legit, like they're in the business, and
you
you
know,
know,
it's amazing though, because like when you're in high school and stuff like that, you have no idea what you want to be. You have no clue. I mean, they give you all these things and stuff like that, and it's like, no. If I go back to school and I tell myself, hey, you kind of want to do something creative, you want to be in the culinary industry, you want to be, and it's like, if I told myself that, would I be the person that I am today? Like, ideally, I always knew I wanted to do something journalistic like you. Like, I always wanted to be a talk show radio host. But of course, dealing with my own self esteem issues, my voice ain't right. I stumble over words and do stuff like that. And it's like, oh, no one's going to ever hire you. So instead, when the whole podcasting thing came out, I was like, why not? And so it was like just an outlet to go out there and do what you always talk about you wanted to do. Did you care if you ever got famous? No, but like when you have that one person that listens to you, be like blah blah blah. So it's like, and so like right now with the shoot, like it's also kind of feeding into something like to sit down and have an interview and just have a conversation with somebody. It's actually cool because I learned so much about you in this time, and it's like, wow, I understand almost all three of the faces of Jemal. And and I'm sorry that you didn't get to experience the black military lifestyle that I've heard so much more about, man. That they held you locked down, man. Forget
look,
that.
Wilmington is still gonna be there when I leave. So you go down to the club every Friday after fucking work, and then to Wilmington. Everybody to the club. Everybody go to Toby's. Everybody going. Strip clubs, fucking clubs, country clubs, dance clubs. Oh man.
Yeah, the
Just to
stories.
do it again.
I mean, the stories that I hear, like few soldiers tell, because one thing I've learned about soldiers that most times you guys really don't talk about your experience. I understand. I mean, it's a lot that you don't want to relive and stuff like that, and you suffering from your PTSD and stuff like that. How to manage that? Do you find it easier for you to sleep in the day?
Yeah, absolutely. During the day when nothing is going on, or when I'm pushed to the brink of exhaustion,
Okay.
because I work a lot. I work so much, and I'll be at work watching the shoot, and I'll be at work watching all these other podcasts and stuff, watching our shows. I'll be tired when I get home.
I know.
So
I get it.
knock the fuck.
I get it, but if you have that issue of sleeping, like you have to push yourself to being tired so you can just go to sleep without even thinking about it, and then you wake up and you do it again. Because I think for myself, when it's my battle with my mental health, it's like when I'm left alone with my own thoughts, it's the most dangerous thing ever, because at that point you just feel like shit, blah blah blah. Like you're your own worst enemy, and no matter what people could say, oh man, you're great, in your head you're still beating yourself up.
You still feel like a piece of shit sometimes,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I totally understand that, and which is again, this show almost didn't happen, but I was like, hey, whatever it is, just I want you to make it through it. We can always do it at another time whenever you're ready. I understand completely.
Yeah,
So whatever time that you need to take, you take it.
And I think that's the lesson that people have to you have to learn to take care of yourself first. Like it's hard because like sometimes you want to give your energy to everybody else, but sometimes you don't give that energy to yourself. And if it's something that you do that relaxes you, don't stop doing it just because people say that's not like. So for example, watching wrestling, it's like one of those things where I could just sit on there, have it on the background. I don't have to watch it in detail. But at that point, it's like I'm in my safe space. And when you hear people say, I can't believe that you 40-something years old still watching wrestling, what's wrong with you? And it's like, well, I'm sorry that you can't have any youthful joy in your life that I find some joy. Like, you know what? F you, motherfucker.
I just respond to whatever show that they're watching or whatever book that they're reading. They'd be like, man, how you watching? Because I'm eclectic. I look at a lot of things. I watch a lot of things. I'm knowledgeable in a lot of things other than pro wrestling. They'd be like, oh, uh, yeah, the UFC, these are legit fighters and this and the third. I was like, well, Matt Riddle, he has a winning record. Brock Lesnar has the winning record. I mean, he was the world champion. So what are you telling me? Bobby Lashley has a winning record in Bellator. Jake Hager and Jack Swagger and freaking AEW and whatever not. He has a winning record. Like, what are you telling me? Ronda Rousey wrestles for WWE. You know what she did.
Yeah.
Like, stop the madness. Like,
Or my favorite one, they come like, wrestling's not real. And I was like, hey, don't you like, did you like Black Panther? It's like, yeah, I love that movie. That wasn't real either, right? And then they be like,
place.
Yeah, it's like Wakanda ain't real, man. Comic books and stuff like that. So I mean, I know I took almost an hour of your time. What other things outside of wrestling do you do to find enjoyment?
I skate. Okay. I got my skate tool ready. I need to freaking change the wheels out and whatever not. So gotta do that eventually. Obviously, like making music. If I would, I know people see it on the ATE, but like I got fucking hold up, how do I switch the freaking camera? I can't. Okay.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have that $1,000 phone. You got to figure it out. Oh, you got your little drum kit.
My drum set, my fucking, my guitars, my piano, and all that good stuff. So, and then obviously I got the Holy Trinity at the house. The P5, the Xbox Series X, the Nintendo Switch OLED. So
yeah,
trying to keep up with Ragnarok is coming out.
Yeah, I hear that. I hear that's supposed to be a great game. It might make me turn my PS5 on again. I mean, I ain't turned none of this shit on.
Definitely gonna play that. So can't wait. Yeah, man. I just try to keep myself busy. The best thing is just to keep yourself busy, especially when you're feeling in a funk. Which I really do feel in a funk a lot, but just staying busy, trying to be active, watching pro wrestling. It helps. That's how come I watch so much. I'm just like, so much in a funk. I'm just like, let me watch this. Let me watch this. Let me watch this. Oh, I recognize this guy from this show.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me back catalog that. I forgot who I was showing wrestling to. It was somebody at work. And they were like, yeah, man, I used to watch Lucha Underground all the time. And Ricochet just so happens to come out. And I was like, Prince Puma. And then they're like, where? I was like, it's right there. It's Ricochet. It's Ricochet.
No, it's always weird when people, because let me tell you, of all the new wrestling programs that were ever created, Lucha Underground was by far my favorite. Like, I love the narrative and everything that was going on with the over-the-top dramatic, because that's what I like professional wrestling for. I mean, yeah, I know people love some great matches, but you can give me a 2.5-star match. If you got a great story going in there, that's all I care about. And
watch a lot of MLW, man. MLW is your next show.
Nah, it's not. I'm not. It's not. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not. It's too much. It's too much.
You don't like Contra? You don't like Contra, man?
I don't even know. You mean the game?
No.
I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that is. Don't even know what that is. We all know. Everybody knows that my wrestling. I stick to I stick to WWE. And then I hate on everything else. That's what I do. That's who I am. I am on WWE's payroll, and they have not hired me yet because I'm fat. That's okay. I'm fine with it. And also I've never submitted an application. But I know a lot of people have. Did they deny you nicely?
They denied my shit. That I heard that, like, veterans get a preference and stuff like that. So I did the whole boop, 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 boop. But I know what fucked me. I didn't go to college yet. That's what fucked me.
But the same thing about me, I would have took that rejection letter and framed that shit like this shit came from WWE. But anyway, my camera's about to tell me we're about to die out, and so I don't want to have the show ended. Jamal, is there anything you want to plug before we so we can wrap this up?
Yeah, man. Like as you mentioned earlier, the Sharpshooters Network. That's what we're on. Listen to all of our stuff. On Saturday, you have the podcast. On Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you have the events of the week. Everything else pertains to everything else other than like WWE and AEW and stuff like that, unless something major happens, like a fucking media scrum. Or some shit.
Now Larry got hurt. Bullshit, Larry didn't get hurt.
Raw's Retro on Fridays. Go peep that out. Mid-card mess is going to be a little sporadic. I'm back cataloging. I'm trying to get it on Anchor, which in turn goes on Spotify. But as of right now, you can catch all that on the SoundCloud, 3 Faces of Jemal. You could peep out my music there if you want to listen to it. It's just a collection of works that I've done for a while. I have a Twitch, but I'm working on that as well. There's not enough time in the day, man.
It's
I'm trying
not.
to do
It's
Twitch.
not. Especially when you have a 9 to 5 to get paid. So pay this man, man. Go donate. Help him out. Do what you need to do. Like if you want to, go to sharpshooters.com, hit that donate button, and in your donation, put this should go to Jemal. And we'll give it to Jemal. That's how we'll do it. Like support your veteran, man, on Veterans Day. We really hope. We really hope you enjoyed this episode and this conversation. I had a great time talking to all three faces of Jemal. Thank you for spending your time. Thank you for your service. Thank you for telling us your story. I mean, it was interesting. I mean, there's so much more we probably could have dived down to, but we didn't need to be here for 5 hours. We really don't because, there's probably more wrestling to watch. So until next time, I'm Eric. He's Jemal. Stay sharp. And the shoot is sporadic, and we'll be back. We're out. Bye. No, that's not how you do it. How do you stop it? Like, when you have your own software, you don't know how to do it. There we go.